The ocean is not a home, it is an endless, crushing tomb. For millennia, humanity has looked at the surface of the sea and seen a reflection of the sky, a vast blue expanse of mystery and life. But beneath the reach of the sun, beyond the last flickering rays of the photic zone, lies a world that is fundamentally hostile to everything we are. At 3,000 meters deep, the pressure is a physical weight, a force capable of flattening steel and liquefying bone. The silence is not peaceful. It is absolute. It is in this lightless void, off the coast of Alaska, that the deep has finally offered us a glimpse of its true nature. It is not a treasure, nor a relic of a lost city. It is a biological anomaly that suggests the arrival of something we are not prepared to meet. Imagine the scene through the cold electronic eyes of a remotely operated vehicle. The light from the ROV carves a fleeting path through a darkness that has been undisturbed for eons. The seabed is a graveyard of slightly moldy algae and pale, tired-looking fish that have never known the concept of sight. And there, stuck to a rock encrusted with ghost-white sponges, was a shimmering sphere. It was not a rock, and it was not a piece of debris. It was golden. Not the gold of a coin or a piece of jewelry, but a sickly, biological gold that seemed to glow with an unnatural, internal heat. A shimmering 10-centimeter orb, perfectly shaped, yet fundamentally wrong. The immediate reaction of the observers was not one of wonder, but of profound confusion. Scientists, men and women who have spent their lives categorizing the bizarre, found themselves speechless. They looked at this underwater disco ball and realized they were staring at a question they could not answer. It was a golden sphere, soft to the touch, possessing the consistency of skin or a biological membrane. When the robotic arm of the submersible reached out to touch it, the orb didn't shatter. It yielded. It felt like space pudding, a soft, pliable tissue that hinted at a life form far beyond our current taxonomic understanding. But the most terrifying detail was not its texture or its color. It was the hole on one side of the golden orb. There was a ragged, dark opening. It was not a puncture from the ROV, nor was it a sign of decay. It was a hatch. It was an exit. This immediately shifted the narrative from a discovery to a realization. The sphere was a casing. It was a womb. Something had been inside this shimmering incubator, and whatever it was, it had already exited. It had emerged into the 3,000-meter deep darkness, leaving behind its golden crib. The scientists joked to hide their unease, but the implication was clear. Something unknown, a predator or a parasite of the abyss, had been born. And it was now somewhere in the dark, watching the ROV with eyes we cannot imagine. The suction system of the ROV was activated, a cold metallic vacuum designed to retrieve specimens for the surface. As the golden sphere was pulled from its rock, the scientists on the ship above treated it with a reverence born of fear. "Careful, don't scratch it," they whispered. They were afraid of contamination, not for the sphere, but for themselves. They were bringing a fragment of the lightless abyss into our world. The egg hypothesis became the dominant theory. But if this was an egg, whose egg was it? Most marine animals lay eggs in clusters, a strategy of survival through numbers. This was a solitary, singular incubator. No known species on Earth produces anything remotely similar. We were dealing with something truly terrifyingly new. Marine biologists admitted that we know very little about the reproduction of creatures in these depths. To say we know little is an understatement. It is like having only explored a single kitchen and thinking we know the architecture of every apartment building in the world. The Abyssal Floor is a 3,000-page book, and we have barely finished the first sentence. The discovery of the golden sphere reminds us that the ocean floor is not just a landscape, it is an alien laboratory. It is a place where evolution has been allowed to run wild in the dark for 4 billion years, creating life forms that ignore our laws of physics and biology. If this was an egg, the most interesting question and the most frightening is, where is the mother? A creature capable of producing a golden 10-centimeter incubator at these pressures must be massive. It must be a predator of the deep, a creature that has evolved in the crushing silence to be the perfect hunter. And what of the hatchling? Whatever crawled out of that golden sphere is now growing in the deep. It is acclimating to the cold. It is learning the sense of the water. If the texture of the casing looks like a biological membrane, then the organism inside was something flesh and blood, a physical entity that now occupies a niche in the deep-sea food chain. The golden sphere remains an enigma, but it is a dark one. Its discovery is a reminder of how vast and unexplored our planet remains. We spend our lives complaining about the mundane, finding house keys, the traffic, the cost of living while 3,000 meters beneath us. The abyss is birthing new nightmares. We are part of a world we do not understand. We are the happy digital voyeurs of a surface that hide a deeper, more ancient reality. The golden sphere is a strobe light in the dark, momentarily illuminating a world that is full of treasures we are not meant to find. We fantasies about mermaids and lost civilizations, but the reality is much more bleak. The abysses are not full of treasure. They are full of biology that has no name. They are full of life forms that look like abstract paintings because they have no need for beauty. They have a need for survival. Science is a continuous adventure, yes, but it is an adventure into the shadows. Every discovery is an opportunity for a laugh, until you realize that the laugh is just a defense mechanism against the unknown. Think about those scientists as they stared at their monitors. They were looking for rocks and algae, and they found a golden womb. They were looking for the past and they found a future they cannot predict. Maybe the keys we lose don't end up in an underwater black hole, but in a world that is so alien it has no use for them. A world where a 10-centimeter sphere is a masterpiece of engineering, and a ragged hole is a sign of a new beginning. As we reach the end of this journey into the dark, the golden sphere remains on board the ship, under a microscope, being dissected by hands that tremble slightly. The mystery deepens with every analysis. The texture, the color, the lack of DNA matches everything points to a conclusion we are not ready to face. We are not alone on this planet. We share it with a dark, deep-sea empire that is just beginning to hatch. The golden sphere was just one. How many others are there? How many other wombs are waiting in the silence, attached to rocks we will never see? The exploration of the ocean floor is not a quest for knowledge. It is an intrusion into a sanctuary. We have observed a tiny part of the seabed, and already we have found signs of a biological revolution. The abyssal world continues to surprise us, but those surprises are becoming increasingly ominous. We are reading the first page of a story that ends with us realizing we are the secondary characters. The deep sea is the true protagonist of the earth, a vast cold theater where the golden spheres are the props and we are the uninvited audience. Keep dreaming, keep asking, but above all, keep watching the dark. The golden sphere is a shimmering, mysterious, and definitely photogenic enigma, but it is also a warning. It is a piece of a puzzle that, when completed, will show us a face we do not recognize. The ocean will keep its secrets as long as it can, but eventually, the things that hatch in the deep will come to the surface. They will rise from the 3,000-meter trenches, and they will look for the sun they have never known. When you look at the stars tonight, don't forget to look at the ground beneath you. Remember that the earth is mostly water, and the water is mostly dark. Beneath the waves, the golden manicure of the abyss is being prepared. The eggshells are breaking, the hatchlings are emerging, and the silence of the deep is about to be broken by a sound we have never heard before. The adventure is just beginning, but the laughter has died away. In the lightless void, the golden womb is empty, and the world is no longer as safe as it seemed. The deep sea is a laboratory where nature plays God with a cruel imagination. We find a golden sphere and we call it space pudding. But the reality is that we are looking at a masterwork of evolution that makes our technology look like toys. We know so little, and yet we act as if we have mastered the world. The golden sphere is a reminder of our arrogance. It is a piece of a biological machine that has been functioning perfectly for billions of years without us, and it will continue to function long after we are gone. We are at the end of our dive. The rov is being hauled back up, leaving the rock and the white sponges behind in the eternal night. But the golden sphere is here, and the hole is still there, a dark, ragged reminder of what escaped. Whatever it was, it is part of the discovered world now. It is a truth we cannot unsee. The abyss is no longer just a place on a map, it is a presence in our minds. It is the gold that shimmered in the dark, and the thing that was born when we weren't looking. Stay curious, stay terrified. The deep is watching back.